everyone. Good afternoon. It is me, your girl E, and today is our authors chat, and I am beyond excited to discuss with you and my good friend. I've known her for since the '90s, late '90s. She is a renowned author. She is a podcaster. Her and her awesome husband, and we're going to be discussing her books, her radio shows that she does with her husband, and she and I participated in the Nano Wrimo of 2022, and we were winners. Okay, we were one of the winners. We're going to talk about our Nano Wrimo journey, and because we are still celebrating National Writers Month, ladies and gentlemen, let me not delay any longer the awesome, the beautiful, the incomparable Mrs. Bobby D. Cubbage. Miss Bobby,
Oh,
how are
beautiful.
you?
Oh my gosh.
Day. You're so humble.
Day.
You are so humble.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm like,
hey.
hey.
You are just too sweet. You are just wonderful. Thank you for having me, sister. I appreciate it.
Oh, it is a pleasure. Thank you. So, first of all, we're going to touch base with it being National Writers Month. We're going to touch base with Nano Wrimo. Nano Wrimo was for us was 2022.
Yes.
I had no clue that you participated until you posted that you were one of the winners. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I'll say for me, my journey, I stumbled across it in 2027. No, I'm sorry, 2027. I'm dating myself. I stumbled across in 2017.
Yes.
And I started with looking into a bullet journal.
Oh, nice.
And a friend of mine at work was doing a bullet journal, and she was trying to organize her day. So I started Googling how to bullet journal, because I have to keep like 3 itineraries just so I remember.
So
and true. I thought that was a great way to stay creative, to kind of help the writing juices flow. And it kept shifting me on YouTube's for Nano Wrimo. Oh. No clue what that was. So that being said, I Googled Nano Wrimo and I found out what it was, what it stood for. And I was like, wow. Now, this was the middle of October.
Yes.
And I was talking to my husband and I said, should I attempt it? And he says, why not? I said, well, I don't really have a story idea. I mean, I have maybe something, but like a small idea, but nothing that really manifests into an actual brainstorm.
Right.
And then I said, well, if I'm a publisher and an author and I'm challenging people to write, maybe I should take the accountability and actually put something together for Nano Wrimo.
For sure.
And I just started immediately just brainstorming some ideas. And of course, everything was starting to come to mind. And so I made a calendar. I got the arts and craft kits out. I made a calendar for the month of November. And I said, okay, I'm going to start this day, November 1st. And I wanted to finish before November 30th. So I said by November 25th. That was pushing it because I work full time. I was doing a lot full time. And I said, can I actually accomplish this? So I did it. I actually finished my book in 2017 on November 27th for The Legend of Vision Campbell. And because I'm a publisher, I was able to publish that in May of 2018. And what that taught me was, one, to be accountable, to actually go to work, to write, and just let the creative juices flow. And so the following year, I was thinking of doing it, and Greg said, "No, don't do it because you already did it." Because it was like kind of pointless. Like, if I know I can do it, why keep doing it?
Why keep going? Exactly.
Right. So then this past year, I was like, maybe I should do Nano Wrimo again. This is in 2022. Yes. And I thought about it in September. I started thinking about some story ideas, and Greg said, yeah, because it's been a minute. And then ironically, it was 5 years. So it was like almost like a 5-year celebration. Perfect. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I participated, and I had nothing but time on my hands. So now there was no excuse why I couldn't finish it.
That's exactly
right. And I got it done within maybe 2.5 weeks. Ooh, so I was beyond excited. I'm going to publish this book beginning of 2024. It's called In the Morning. Mouring.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
In the morning. And I was very excited. So I'm on Facebook and I see a post come up about Nano Wrimo. I'm just like, okay. I said, Bobby, Bobby did Nano. I said, that is awesome. I was so excited for you. So,
Thank
what I want to
you.
do is talk to you about what inspired you and what determination that you have to finish your novel.
Well, that is actually so funny. Doing that Nano Wrimo. It's so awesome because you can do it every year if you want to. Of course, if you have the time. Even if you don't have the time, like, we ladies, we really don't have the time. But um I was inspired by it because I just thought that it would be, cool. I'm like, can I really write, something of this magnitude in a month? Can you really do it? And I'm like, okay. So I was sitting down and Sam and I were talking, and I said, well, what am I going to write about? I don't really, I'm usually a real world, you know, um, nonfiction person, obviously, from the books that you've seen. So I'm like, a novel? I don't know. Let me dig into Nano a little bit and see if I can maybe twist it and do a real world thing. And so, they had all these different levels of things that you could do. And I'm like, yes, I can do nonfiction. Okay, good. That's what I'm going to do. But what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? So I am going to put this book out there. I will publish it as well. My book is called Random Thoughts.
Mm.
And it was literally my thoughts every day that month. So if I was mad about something, that's what came out. If I
So
was
it's like a
happy about
journal.
it was like a journal. Absolutely.
Nice, nice.
Absolutely. And it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, I set it aside. A friend of mine said, well, you might want to just set it aside. You never know, because you'll probably want to edit it and change and this and that and this and that. I said, okay. So I put it aside for a couple of months and was like, okay, let me go back and just look at this. And I'm like, boy, what was I thinking about? What was I thinking about that day? Ooh, I was kind of feisty on that day. What's
Bobby
going
feisty? No, no, not my Bobby.
on? Ooh, I had an attitude that day. What's that about? That kind of. But it was actually nice, and it was actually kind of fun to see. Because we as I'm not going to say just girls when we're coming up. Boys might even keep a journal or a diary too, or whatever. But
Mhm.
from the time I could write and construct words, I'd been writing a journal, writing little thoughts, writing papers, whatever. And so it was nice to actually take the time once again to sit, okay, what am I thinking about today? What's going on today?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of mad about this stuff. Well, you'll see, you'll see some of the thoughts that you will read in that story were inspired by real world events that were happening at
Oh
the
wow.
time and are currently happening. So I had some very strong thoughts.
You was cutting up, Bobby.
I definitely was. Definitely was. But it was good. It was good. So I encourage those of you out here uh, on my sister's platform, if you are a writer, or even if you don't feel like you're a writer, write those thoughts down, get those thoughts out. Do
Yes,
please, 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 because there are so many awesome things that happen throughout the day. And
yes,
everybody has a story.
yes,
Everybody has a
yes.
story to tell. And just write it down, even if you don't think it's important. You know what I'm saying?
Write it
Oh,
down.
I
Yes,
ate, I ate an apple today. I don't
yes.
know. Write that down, and it might spark some form of creativity in your mind. You just don't know. So do it.
So speaking of, you did a journal esque for your Nano Wrimo. As we're celebrating National Writers Month for November, the Writers Block Publishing has put out a journal challenge, a journal writing prompt challenge for the
Ooh,
month of November. And
awesome.
so, what I had challenged a lot of people to do was to go on our website and click on the journal challenge link and
Oh,
subscribe, and I will send out a daily journal challenge because journaling, as we all know, is very cathartic.
yes.
It helps us express the emotions when we
Yes.
know maybe we can't express it to that person at that time, or we
Yes.
don't have anybody to vent to,
Yes.
or if we just where it was gratitude, rather just in your daily diary. um and also it can help kind of tap into whatever the emotion is that we may not recognize that we're feeling throughout the day.
So true.
I've been journaling since I was a kid. I've always kept a diary. Dear diary, my mother made me mad. My
Yes.
dad sucks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I've kept those journals. I hate my teacher, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
but then my journals, um, for some time was compromised, so to speak.
Mm,
I'll elaborate that on another day, but it was at the point that I didn't feel safe writing in a journal, really expressing my
mm,
true emotions. So
yeah.
what I did was just journal maybe what I thought of that day or what revelation or epiphany I had. It
Yes.
wasn't until we hit the pandemic that I was talking to my husband. I said maybe I should start journaling again because I really didn't. The idea of journaling was always intriguing, always something within me,
For sure.
but to really journal, I was talking to him. He said, "Yeah, I mean, why aren't you journaling? You're an author. You always have something
Exactly.
on your mind. You're always
Ex-
brainstorming." And so
Exactly.
I hit up Amazon. I bought like a bulk for like, $20, and I started journaling again.
Yes.
And it's so cleansing. No matter how stupid you may think
Yes.
it is, it's cleansing.
Yes.
And it really gets the emotional toxicities, if that's the word, out of your system.
For sure.
Because again, you may not be able to vent to, say, your best friend's busy or you're going through something. You just can't blow up the phone and say, hey, had a rough day at work, I need to talk.
Right.
So if you could journal it and say, the worst day, my boss, my coworker, my supervisor, the people I deal with, it was just a rough day emotionally, mentally. Or
Yes.
even if you're being grateful, the gratitude journals is out there. What are you grateful for? um on my one daily planner, it asks, what are you grateful for? I'll
Mm,
even put I had a good night's sleep last night. I'm so grateful for
yes.
that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
there's days I'm not sleeping well at night and I got to get
I
up in the
believe it.
morning.
I
So it's
believe
like I
it.
had a good night's sleep. Okay. Or
And
I'm
I'll take
grateful
it.
that I didn't binge eat, you know, last
Yeah.
night. People may think it's trivial, but sometimes
It's
we are so
important.
grateful that we are able to stay on task as far as our health or wellness. And it's a type of self care. A lot of
Yes.
people don't
Yes.
understand that. It is self care.
It
And
really is.
when we journal, um, again, it could be for any reason. Like
Yeah.
it could be completely for any reason. Just get that out of your system.
Yes.
And especially for people who are not talkers, you know what I
Right.
mean?
That's
Who may
true.
not express the emotion, just write it down. There's no structure, there's no specific way. You could put dear God, dear diary,
Right.
whatever. Just write it
Or
down.
nothing. Or
It,
nothing.
it
Just the
write the
date and
yes,
that's
put
it,
the date
you know?
down because if you go back over it, say in 3 years, and see where you were then and where you are now, because like you said, you said, "Oh, I was having a rough day that day." Yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes,
Exactly.
and then you can see growth. Like I don't even think like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's
So
exactly right.
now, how did you feel? I mean, it's kind of an off question, but how did you feel when you submitted your word count and it's put congratulations?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I thought that was amazing. What a beautiful, um, testament, once you worked so hard and it's like, wow, I can't believe I did such and such, words in a day or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't think I could do that. But
Yes,
wow, I can, you know what I mean? Like, it
yes,
took years to write certain books, but it's like,
yes.
okay, but I really focused and da, 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 and it was awesome. It was beautiful.
I was exhausted
I
each
bet
time.
you were exhausted. And congratulations to you too.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
that
ma'am.
is
Thank you.
amazing.
I was exhausted. I was like,
Yes.
I'm going to bed. Yes.
Yeah. That's right. I am tired.
Yes.
I'm not writing anything else. I'm
No,
done. Yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
done.
The first time I was extremely drained because that was the first time last year. And I think because I crushed it in 2 weeks. Now
Yeah,
I was in
you
between
did it.
jobs, so I had nothing but time. So I was able to get up in the morning.
Oh
I
my
did
god.
my workout. and I went straight to work, so to speak. I got on that computer and I was writing.
Yes.
Um, and even when you don't think a word matters, it was getting that word count. Um, it was applying the detail
Yes.
to the scene because I write fiction. It was crazy, and it would make me mad when there was a word that was maybe two words hyphenated.
Yes.
So it took away a word. I was like, son of a gun. You know what I mean? So I was like, I need two words.
Wait,
I need
don't
extra.
do that. What are you
Yes.
doing?
Yes. I was so mad because each day I had a specific word count I needed to accomplish to get
Yes.
to that goal. So
Yes.
yeah. Um, I didn't I maintained my diet so I wasn't triggered by snacks or foods.
Yeah,
I
see,
like to
that's
drink
good.
wine. I wasn't triggered by the wine because it's like, I get kind of sleepy. I said
Yes.
no. Like I just eliminated the world for those 2 weeks. Yes. And
Yes.
I was like, you know what? I was completely and utterly exhausted. So
Oh, I believe
um
it. For
so,
2 weeks, woo,
yeah.
2.5 weeks trying. I mean, that's a serious word count that you have to get
Yeah.
in a
But
day
I
if
knew
you're
that I
trying
had a
to.
window between work. So I
Yes.
said, let me crush it because when you start a new job or a new career path, you have to focus and your energy has to be on that. And then when you come home, you don't really have the mental or the emotional energy to contribute to something else, to another project.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's one of my pros and cons. Like when I'm in it, I go hard till it's completed.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I'm physically exhausted. I have no energy, no life for anybody. So Greg gets
Mm.
on me all the time because it's like you do too much. Like I don't know how you. I'm like it. I think it's a
You
woman
just do
thing.
it. You
I think
just
it's a women thing because
It's a
women
woman thing.
we run the world and that's just we do. I mean,
We run it. We run it,
we
and we crush it, and we know we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have to do it. Things have to get done. They have to get done.
yes,
We
yes.
just
I'm
do
one
it.
of those. I need everything to be in. I need it to flow a certain way. I'll
Yes.
do it. Just don't bother me about it.
Yes.
Get out the way. And my husband, he just like, all right, you know what? I'm leaving you alone. You come talk to me when you're ready. I'm just like, whatever.
Yep. Like, I
I
gotta
don't
get it done. I gotta get it done.
no, I don't know. There's no entertainment. But no. So let's talk about your book. Let's the hashtag Mrs. Bobby Cubbish Diaries. This part one. See, this sounds like ooh.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
You talk about any bad kids in there?
Well, we won't say bad. We'll say, what's the word for that? Feisty.
Or
Maybe we'll
energetic,
say,
extremely
there
energetic.
you go. Extremely energetic. I like that. I like that better. Yes, I like that. But just the wild things they say just throughout the day, just random, again, another random thoughts. They say the the cutest, funniest, quirkiest, wildest, wildest things that you could imagine. And the well, actually, I'll show the book cover, and this is
Yes.
the book cover actually had a funny story with it too. I don't know if I actually put it in the book or not, but a little girl came to me with that picture, and it was actually this way. So of course, no words, and it was like this.
Okay.
And, they draw all kinds of little things, whatever. And you're
Mhm.
thinking, oh, they're going to take it home to mom. Okay, cool. And I said, oh, well, that's beautiful, honey. Mom will love that. And she says, no, Mrs. Cuppage, it's for you. I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, this is for me. That's beautiful. And she says, do you know what it is? I'm like,
So I was maybe
mm.
say a rainbow.
That's what I said. I said,
Okay.
oh, a rainbow. No. I said, oh, So I just came up with a cookie, whatever, whatever.
Right.
No, no, no. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, that's you. And I
Colorful.
said, oh,
Colorful.
I said, that's me. And I said, well, thank you. And she said, it's you, Mrs. Cubbage, because like a rainbow, you're all colors,
See.
which I just thought, I'm like, that is the
See,
sweetest
that's just
thing.
got my cry. I'm like, oh, I love you. Give me a hug.
I
You're my
love
favorite
you.
student.
I love you. What am I going? And now, of course, the child who is now an old teen. I think she's 18 now. I think she's
Oh
18.
my.
I'm sure she doesn't recall that, but it was so profound. And I said to Sam, when I write a book about I said, because I am going to write a book about these kids. I said, that's going to be my book cover. And he was
Now
like,
see, that's beautiful.
what a sweet thing. So I said, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to go with. And it was funny trying to fix it on the cover and try to get I said, but this has to be it. This has to be it.
No, that's beautiful because we do remember the teachers that
Yes.
made an impact.
Yes. It was so
I
sweet.
I know every single teacher from kindergarten to
Yes.
college
I believe it.
that specifically made an impact in my life as a
Yes.
woman, as an author. Um, let me say, I had a reading teacher, Mrs. Conrad. She was the best. She was a teacher at Greater Works Academy in Monroeville, and she gave me my love for reading.
Oh, I
Yes,
love
she
it.
she said one day I think we were starting the 6th grade, the first day of school, and she asked how our summer was, and everybody was like, we did this, we did that. And she said, I read all summer. We were like, boring. And kids that they don't who wants to read during the summer. But
Right.
she was saying that the books that she read took places in Paris and in
Ooh.
Africa and Mexico.
Ooh.
And she would tell her family, bye-bye, I'm going to Paris, when she was about to go back after dinner to go back into her book. And I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought she was just being weird. But then one day we had to read a short story. And I cannot remember the title of the short story. It was, remember back in the day, we had those big clunky reading books. You had
Yes.
to like page like 587 to read like a short story. And the character in the short story was extremely messy, but a good student.
Oh.
And they needed her to find a piece of paper for her to do this class project.
Mm.
Meant that she had to clean her room to find this paper.
Oh my
And
God.
as I was reading, I was hearing the papers rustle, and I can hear her putting things away. I can actually hear it. And
Yes.
then when she found it, it was silent. You
Mm.
can like sense the order.
Yeah.
Everything now was organized. And I was like, wow, that is deep. And
Yes.
so from that point, I didn't put a book down. I said, I need to escape. And that's even how I watch TV. When I'm watching a new series on TV, I want to be in it. I get so
Yes.
mad when Greg or Aja talk through it. I'm like, shut up. Because you're bringing me back into reality. And
Yes. I
Lord of
don't
the
want to be
Rings,
in
I'm going
reality.
to this world. I'm going to this TV world. I want to be raptured up in it.
Yes. Yes.
And then when I
Yeah.
come out, I want to be like, whoa, that was deep. But no. So and that's even when I write. When I write, I want to put you in the scene. I want you there
Yes.
with the characters. I want you to smell what they smell, feel what they feel. And I want to feel, even though I'm writing it, I want to think that I can feel the reader's emotion. As like,
Exactly.
so when the character does something, reader's like, what are you? Are you, I want all that. So it was because of Miss Conrad. Mrs.
Oh.
Delorier, she was my high school English teacher. I'm friends with her on Facebook. We met up
Oh.
last year, and I wondered if she remembered me. I said, you remember me, Mrs. Delorier? She goes, yeah. And I'm thinking she just saying it to be pleasant. But no, she asked how my mother was. She said, are you still
Oh.
writing? I'm like, oh, you do remember
We
me. She said, of course.
remembered.
Yes, I told her, I said, I'm a published author. I own my own publishing company. I was all proud. I was like, yes,
Yes.
Mrs. Deloria remembers me. She was
Yes.
a joy, one of the greatest teachers. Even Mr. What is his name? He was our math teacher. I can't think of his name. Of course, it'll come to me after we're done
Of course.
recording.
Always.
But
Always.
Mr. Riley, his name, Mr. Riley, and I hate math. But
Mm.
he made it fun. And he was a diehard Pirates fan. And the
Ooh.
Pirates, when I was in high school, the Pirates were losing. They couldn't catch a break. You know what I mean? But it was just the fact that he was the coolest, and that's the impact that you had on this young lady. She
Yeah.
said, because you're colorful, you're a rainbow, you're bright, you're
I
sunny.
love it. It was
And
so sweet.
the fact that you paid homage to her after all these years, it is evident that's
Girl.
what it's who you are.
Oh, thank you.
And
And I have to
I
tell
love
you,
you.
it's so funny at the first book signing. one of the kids who was in our after school program, he comes, came with his mom and sister, and he says, Mrs. Cubbage, he goes, I always knew you were going to write a book about us. You said you were going to write this book. I'm so happy. And I said, oh, thank you, honey. You're so sweet. And he says, I started writing because of you. I'm in 10th grade now, and I'm writing all because of all the fun you talked about having writing about us. And he goes, I'm just so excited. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're killing me. Get out of here.
I know. You don't want to cry and wink in front of a student, but you're just like,
it's just so sweet.
You're a sweetheart, Bobby, and the world loves you.
So
I admire you immensely.
oh,
You and Sam. And that's what I was saying before we went live. How in the world do you manage to be so consistent?
Oh boy. It's literally, we have bells, we have alarms on our phones to like, okay, when are we posting what? And like Sam is really good at that. Like he's Johnny on the spot. He's posting this time, I'm doing this. And it's all like literally all these alarms on our phones. But I'm like, thank God. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't have the phones like they are nowadays. Like with all
I don't know. I mean, I managed to get to it, but I
managed to get to.
Oh yeah, like I'll manage. I'm like, okay, like for the journal prompts,
yes.
I organize for tomorrow's already.
Yes.
Like, let me do it now because I
do
already know what
do
my
it
day
now.
is going to consist of. So I did that for tomorrow.
Absolutely. You have to, and that's the one thing you do want to make sure you do. Set up those alarms on your phone. I have alarms going off for my kids at the preschool, at the center. Like, okay, this is when we clean up. We clean up at 4:00. We do this at 5:00. We do this. So they know 4:00 when that bell goes off, that's snack time. Wow. 4:20, that's craft time. 4:45, that's outside time. Like and I'm like, you know what? That's working with the kids. Why don't we do this here at home? So we got bells going off, and it is good. It does keep you on task. It really does.
Now, how do you think? Now, when you and Sam do your shows, how do you stay consistent without being redundant?
Well, we don't necessarily like to talk about we'll just be honest, the politics that are out there, because
right.
We both, believe it or not, do have very strong opinions about that.
Okay. I can see Sam in his opinion. I don't even want it.
Yes, because I'm sure you have an idea on where
I already know.
You already know. You already
don't even have to explain it.
We already know. But we do try to follow like different trends. We do like to go back and just check, like, okay, did we, you know what I mean? Like if we, for instance, if we had you on the show, like the last time we had you on the show, we try to, okay, now you know what? We're gonna have Ebony Dawn on the show next week. Let's watch what we did last time. That way we're not asking her the same stuff.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
You might want to do a little bit of a recap so people don't forget what you said in the last interview. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, but you know what? Let's ask Ebony Dawn about this, and this, because the last time we asked her this, and this. Like, well, what do you think? Oh, that sounds good. So it's nice to have each other to bounce those ideas. Or we could be, oh, nah, Ebony Dawn, she don't want to talk about that. Forget that.
I'll talk about it, honey. You can ask me anything. No.
I don't like that question. Nah, she's not going to answer that. No, forget it. But so that's, and it's nice to bounce those ideas off of each other, or just somebody. It doesn't have to be a spouse or a significant other or whatever. If there's somebody else in your life that's interested in something similar, bounce those ideas off of them. Well, you know what, I'm about to have an interview with so and so, and they did this, and this. What do you think about this question? What do you think about that? And it's helpful. It's helpful because You don't want anybody on your like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know she was gonna, like, oh
Like,
God, I
oh,
don't
she
know
done went
anything
there,
about
there. That's
that.
all of they done went into the laundry. Like, oh, they got all the dirty clothes out the laundry. Like, geez.
Now, of course, you could ask them that after you get off.
Right. No, I completely like when I interview people, I definitely try to stay clear of the personals.
Sure,
You know what I mean? 'Cause I
absolutely,
definitely don't want to
absolutely.
expose, bring that type of exposure to anybody because, I try to stay on theme. I
Yeah,
just know for me, there's a
absolutely.
lot of things that I scaled back on because I just felt like I'm sounding like a robot
Sure, I understand. I
and I'm
get it.
saying the
I
same
get it.
thing. So maybe there's a new creative way to discuss writing tips, technique, character development, stuff like that, plot development, without saying the same thing or
Absolutely.
without bugging people. So it's like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
just
yes.
go back, check, check your and there's nothing because I know some people are probably like, oh gosh, I don't want to watch myself again. I already did
Mhm.
it. I'm done. I don't want to look at it, because I was when we started this, I was like that too. Sam was like, no, let's look at this. Let's check. Like, I don't want to look. I don't want to do it. Like, we're done. We're done. Let's move on to the next. But he was right. It's good to go back. Okay, you know what? Okay, we asked Ebony Dawn about the first 3 books that she's done. Okay, well,
Right.
you know what? That's enough. You know what I mean? That's enough. She's got, 6 more. Let's
You
delve
just
into
talk about,
those
yeah.
instead. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and you can ask the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But you could twist it or tweak
Twist
it.
it.
Right. Tweak
Twist
it
it.
a little bit so it doesn't sound the same.
Okay.
You could tweak it a little bit, like instead of being like, well, Ebony Dawn, tell me a little bit about your family.
Mhm.
And then, you go blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then the next time you discuss family, well, you know what? It was an interesting thing that I heard about your family. I heard that you all went on a vacation to Italy. Tell
Right.
me more. Tell me more. So it's similar. It's different, but it's similar because you're talking about family, but you just added a little extra
A
flavor
little extra flavor to it.
flavor.
A little, you added some,
Little
what,
something.
a little a little
Yeah, a
extra
little bit,
seasoning on it. Oh, that
Just
is
one
great.
of
I
them.
appreciate that. Is such great advice because it's like, okay,
Absolutely.
because a lot's coming down the pike for writer's block. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, I need to really scale back because I have a supportive spouse
Yes.
nonetheless, but on the writing world, no, you know what I
That's not
mean?
his thing. That's not
No.
his thing. And that's okay. That's
He'll
okay.
have me in some type of, I don't know. It's as far as the writer, the characters. I'm like, no, they're not doing that. They're not.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're not.
He's like, what
No,
about this? Or I'm like, nope. You know what?
no, Greg, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do
Let's
that. No.
let's talk about what we're going to eat for dinner. Let's change the subject
Yes.
because I appreciate it, hon. He's more of the
Right.
construction. She is the construction man. If I need help setting up the backdrops and the camera,
That's perfect.
that's what
That's
you do.
perfect. Like
Yes.
that's his strength right there. So that's
On
that's
the
okay.
creative side, he's not. But no, I truly, truly love it. Now, are you participating in Nano Wrimo this year?
No, not this year. Same thing, just like you said. Like I already did it, and I'm gonna let it go for a little bit. I'll let it go for a couple of years. I like the idea of 5 years, though. That's a good idea.
I might
I
do it
like
in
that
another
idea.
5 years because it'll be 10 years in the 10th year.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might do that. I'm like 5 year.
Yeah, and it was ironic that I did that. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's beautiful. I
And
think I will maybe wait for 5.
what I suggest for the book that you did for NaNoWriMo, because I did it for my book, put NaNoWriMo winner 2022.
Oh, that's a great
Yes,
idea.
because
Thank you.
we own our own businesses, we own our own companies, we can stamp it the way we want to.
I love that. I
Yes.
love that. You're
Yep.
exactly right. I
Yep.
love
And then that could be a promo for November.
Oh, you're girl, you are on it. You are on it, sis. Let me tell you.
Yes. I can squeeze $1, honey. I'll make it and squeeze it.
I can't be mad at you for that. I can't be
Yes.
mad at you.
Yes. Yes. So what's next for the author, Bobby Covich?
Oh my gosh. Oh, girl. I don't even know. I don't even know. I think maybe tightening up the random thoughts. book, and maybe pushing it out there maybe next summer. We'll see. We'll see how
I'm
that
looking forward
goes.
to it.
We'll see. You'll get a kick out of it because it
You
was
go keep me
hysterical.
posted.
I will definitely keep you. It's hysterical. Like what in the world? Like
No, kids, they do. My daughter, let me see, when she was 4, 4 is the best age.
Yes, I agree. I love that age.
She had to be about, I want to say 4, maybe 3 before. And this is when I was married to her dad, and we all got into the car. Well, me and the kids were in the car, and he got in the car, and our oldest said, Alexa, she says, "Hi, Daddy." And no, I'm sorry, it was Aja. She said, "Hi, Daddy," and he said hi because he was starting the car up. And then Alexis, our oldest, said, "Hi, Daddy." And he said hi. And then our son said, "Hi, Daddy." And he said, because he was playing along. He goes, "Hi." And
Hi,
then
hi. Oh
and
my
then
god.
I said, "Hi, Daddy," and everybody started laughing. And he said, "Hi," and Aja said, "Mommy, that's not Daddy, that's Babe."
Oh yes. See the stuff they said. Like, where did you get that from? You know,
Yeah,
just
and then Alexa's oldest daughter, her name is Juliana. She was 3, and it was right after Christmas, so she had some toy at the house. And Greg had already left for church. I remember it was Sunday. It was maybe the Sunday after Christmas.
okay.
And he said, I'll meet you guys there. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll see you later. And the toy wasn't working. So Juliana's walking around with this toy. She was 3. And she said, "It's not working. I need Greg."
Oh,
Because she knew
excuse
that,
me.
yeah, because he was going to fix it. So she's playing around with the toy, and I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "It's not working. I need Greg." And I was like, "Okay, well, it's been established
Well,
Greg's position in his family."
absolutely. Well, it's. I guess she's not wrong. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it is what
Like,
it is.
just
And I told him, I said, "You had to fix the baby's toy," because she said, "Yep,
because she requested you, so
yes,
you are the one. You
yes,
are the one to do
yes,
it.
yep, yep." And then my niece is 4. She's 4, and before she turned 4, a month before she turned 4, I kept saying, "How old are you?" She kept saying, "I'm 4." And
Mm.
I'm like, "No, you're 3. You'll be 4 next month." She goes, "No, I'm 4." So I'm
Ooh,
doing the math when she was born. I'm just like, what?
like no,
So I
you're
called my brother. I said, how old is she? He says she's 3. I said, "Why is she saying she's 4?" He goes, "Let her be great." I'm just like, whatever,
sure be great.
whatever, whatever.
Fine, fine.
No.
It
And then
is
I
what
asked
it
her name. She tells me her first and last name. I said, "Okay, good girl." I asked her what her brother's name. She just gives him a first name. She doesn't tell us his last. She just like, no. I said,
because
"What's
the
your
last
name?"
name is just theirs, nobody else's.
Yeah, I'm gathering that now.
It's
So it's like, but they say
the
anything.
best stuff.
And
They
you definitely got to watch what you say around them, because they are sponges. They will soak it
Ooh.
in and they will repeat it.
And if you and if you get a parent that catches their child imitating you, oh my gosh, that is something to see.
Yes.
One of the moms caught her daughters playing teacher. The oldest one was being Mrs. Cubbage, and the youngest one was the student. And the mom said, "This was so cute. You got to see it." And I was like, "I wish you wouldn't have shown me." I'm like, "Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
Like, what am I doing?" And the daughter was like, "Okay, so what we're going to do." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "Do I do that?" I'm like, so I'm being like really like, "Okay, all right, am I doing that?" Oh, no, okay, no, no, we're not doing that. So, no, we're not going to say so. We're not going to say so. We're just going to try not to talk with our hands. We're going to keep our arms straight. It
No.
was, it was hysterical.
No, they do. My kid, when she was 7, Christmas, she got Dora. It was all about Dora at that age, Dora the
Mm,
Explorer. And
Dora
she
was,
had a Dora desk. So we had an old phone that belonged to my mother. It was like, it looked like an office phone. It was flat with the numbers, and
yes.
okay. And I don't even know why we still had it, but we had this old phone that was sitting in our pantry. She grabbed the phone, and she had her tote bag, and she put her phone on the desk. And this is Christmas morning. So after she unwrapped everything, we didn't ate everything, she had her tote bag, And she said, "Okay, mommy, I'm going to work." And she went to her door desk, had her
Ooh,
phone. 'Cause this is what I did. So
this is,
I was like, wow.
isn't that something
I
like
was more offended by the tote bag because it was like, I actually carry a purse, but whatever.
what's up with the tote bag? What's
Yeah, I
that?
feel like the old granny, with their shopping totes. Nah, it was like whatever. But in other words, she
That's
was like,
funny.
"You carry a tote bag too." So
Like, really? I don't think I carry a tote bag, but
yeah, well,
okay.
yeah, she had me. She like, "I'm going to work."
I'm going to work.
Hmm.
That is too cute. See, it is. It's so cute, the things that they do and the things that it's unbelievable.
It is. It
Unbelievable.
is, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to the seasons with my niece and nephew, watching them really grow up and seeing my brothers. I'm kind of getting it back, but I'm gonna just leave that there because
Leave it
not
there.
that he was a problem child, but he was energetic, as
He
we'll
was
say,
energetic. Yeah.
and I'm just enjoying the season for him. I definitely am glad that I don't want to say my season's over because watching my daughter explore adulthood
Oh,
is
I bet
it's
that's
hilarious.
amazing.
It's so funny.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
so funny. I just sit back and watch like only you. I sit back and watch because because even the thoughts that come out of their mouth, even at that age, because she'll be 24, even
Yes.
the thoughts that come out of their mouth is crazy. It's crazy. So
Oh my
we
gosh.
we both have assignments for next year. I got two
Yes.
books coming. You have a book coming.
Yes.
And I'm looking
Woo.
forward to manifestation.
Whoa. Oh, yes. Yes. We're going to pray that we can get all of this done.
You'll
Because
get it.
God will definitely, he'll make sure we do.
You'll get it.
You'll get those two done too. I'm gonna be praying for you. I know you're gonna do it. I'm gonna be
Well,
excited.
I'm definitely going to do it because I've definitely put it out there. So it's like I can't
Yes.
not do it. I put it out there to my family, put it out there on social media, but I know I need to just stay focused. And I want you to share when your podcast shows, you and Sam are coming on.
Okay, so we are on, let's see, our YouTube channel is every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern,
What's
and
it called?
our it's the CCI Radio Show podcast. So that's on Saturday mornings.
That's YouTube.
Yes, that's on
Okay.
YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Our audio shows, because Sam is so good at running off all this stuff. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm not the one with the memory. That is Mr. Sam. That's why I have bells and whistles going off on my phone. We have a Sunday morning on blogtalkradio.com. That's my gospel excellence show. So that's 10 a.m. Eastern every Sunday. Well, every other Sunday, I should say. Because on blogtalkradio.com, the Sundays that I'm not on, in the evening, Sam comes on and he does what's called Love Notes. So that's also on Blog Talk Radio. And that's pretty much where any podcast is available. Okay, so that's Sunday. That's Sunday. Monday, we don't have anything. Tuesday, I do on YouTube at 7:30 a.m. Little show called Tuesday Talks. So just talk about what's on my mind or what I saw in the news or something. Nothing too crazy, but just a little something, something. Tuesdays, 7:30 a.m. Every other Wednesday, I do etiquette class with Mrs. Cubbage. That's also at 7:30 a.m. Talk a little bit about the proper etiquette for, whether you're out or at school or whatever, just any type of etiquette. That's also at 7:30 a.m. Every other Wednesday. The Wednesday I'm not on, Sam is on doing credit tips. So that's also Wednesday.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's a
What are
lot
you
going on. It's a lot going on. Thursday, every other Thursday, I do a 90s podcast on Blog Talk Radio at 8 p.m. I think that's the time he has us doing that. So that's the Back to the 90s podcast with me. Then on the Thursday, you don't hear me, you hear Sam, and that's back to the 80s with Sam C. Smooth. And then Friday on YouTube, I do a cooking show called Cooking Fun with Mrs. Cubbage at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So there's a lot. See, Sam, if Sam were here, he would have been done with that 5 minutes ago. But I have to say, like, usually he's a boom, boom, boom.
I'm not going to ask you how.
It's a lot. Again, the bells are going on. It's a
Wow.
lot. It's a lot. The grace of God, that's for sure. That's for sure. Because we are definitely not doing this on our own.
It has to be nobody but God, because I'm just sleepy.
Nobody
Just
but
hearing
God.
it. I'm ready to take a nap. Yes. Like, you know what?
I might have to take a nap after. I'm telling you, get Sam this. He's like, and we're doing this. We did that. I'm like, really? We did all that? We do all that?
But that's you know, that's great, because that's you guys are putting some serious content out there.
Thank you.
And it's all motivational, it's all inspirational.
Thank
I'm a big
you.
fan of the 80s.
Love it.
I trained my daughter on 90s and 80s music.
That's the
I'll
music.
ask her who a new artist is. She's like, I have no clue.
Exactly. Like,
No.
who is that? You know what I mean? Like, they
So
don't.
that is beyond beautiful. Bobby,
Thank
I want
you.
to thank you for taking the time for me to discuss your NaNoWrimo journey, your writing journey, all of the blogs and the podcasts that you do, and even your advice on even how for me to even stay focused and move forward. You are an amazing woman. Mr.
Wow.
Cubbage is so, I know you two are the cutest, by the way. You make being married fun. Like, oh, I want that. You know, like you text each other, you send each other, have a great day, babe. And I think that is so adorable.
Thank you.
So adorable. And I say I'm going to do it. I'm like, you know, let me just tag Greg and have a good day.
Do it. He'll be like, oh, wow. You know, he'll love it.
I completely forget all about him once I hit the work.
I forget all about him. I get it.
But you guys are like it was like Happy Tuesday, babe. Love. I'm like, oh, that is so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys, how many years? Like
21. 21. Yeah. I can't believe it myself.
You guys, and still, 21. You guys are still in love. That's beautiful.
We are just crazy in love, crazy acting like we just got married, you know. Again,
I want to see you guys when you're old and see now. You're still going to be.
He'll still be the one with the better memory because who am I, babe? Who am I?
You're Bobby. You're my wife. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
And all right. See, I probably would have one. I would have left Greg in his room. I would have hit the streets. Would have been shopping. Like, oh yeah, I forgot to make my husband his breakfast.
I forgot to make. Don't forget to make him his breakfast. Get his.
No, actually, I make it. He doesn't eat it. He doesn't eat.
He doesn't eat.
No, because he's always on the go.
Oh, tell him he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to eat. Sam stays on me about eating too. I got it.
Yeah, he's always on the go because he gets up, he gets moving. I'll have breakfast set up. I'll offer him coffee. And I say this, and then people probably wonder, maybe can she cook? I can cook. I'm a great cook. I know I'm a great cook.
Yes.
But he's always on the go. So just y'all,
Greg,
in prayer that he remembers to eat.
Yes.
And I'm like Claire Huxtable. I make sure he eats healthy.
Yes.
Yes, I make sure he gets plenty of water, his fruits and vegetables. But he's always on the go. Now dinner is a different story. I fix dinner. He offers to help. I'm like, nope, I got it because I like serving. You know what I mean? Even when he's done eating, I'll take his plate. But see, he's finishing the last drop. I'm just like, okay, you're finished. And, you know what I mean?
You're done. You're done.
I'm ready to get the kitchen clean. We don't have time to let it marinate. Come on, let's get moving.
Like there's too much going on. Come on.
There's too much to do. You don't have time to get it marinate. We have work. So yeah, it's like. Yeah, so but you guys are the cutest. I celebrate the love. You guys, when I think of couples, I think of the Obamas and the Cubbages.
Oh, thank you. We love the Obamas too. I wish we could meet them.
You guys are you literally are the Obamas of the podcast world.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again for taking the time. It was live on YouTube and it'll be on Facebook and I guess in the next 10 minutes. So stay with me. I'm going to end the stream. The Author Talk with E. Davis has been brought to you by, sponsored by the Writers Block Publishing LLC, Writers Block Publishing LLC, and of course Starks Contracting LLC.